Find out how you can save a life by donating blood here at McConnell Hall.
Is keeping the party going after Halloween with having colorful culture, free food, live music, and more tonight here at UNT.
I'm here on Weld Street by one of UNT's few bike lanes. I'll have more for you later in the show.
From the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Lillian Kosh.
And I'm Chanel Young. As the fighting between Israel and Hamas continues, the key border crossing between Gaza and Egypt, known as the Rafah crossing, has now been open in a limited way. Egyptian authorities are allowing a limited number of injured civilians and foreign nationals who have a passport to enter Egypt. CNN's Laura Aguirre has more on this development.
Crossing between Egypt and Gaza, limited evacuations have begun. Part of a deal brokered by Qatar between Israel, Hamas, and Egypt in coordination with the U.S., according to sources familiar with the talks.
An initial group of foreign nationals, including U.S. citizens, departed Gaza through Rafah today. And we expect exits of U.S. citizens and foreign nationals to continue over the next several days.
This as hundreds of others wait outside the gate, hopeful that they too will soon escape the horrors of war. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
And today, a major change in national politics with a big Texas impact. The Lone Star State is saying goodbye and good job to Congresswoman Kay Granger. This morning, Granger announced her retirement from Congress after 15 terms. During 26 years in office, she was the first woman to represent Texas in the United States House of Representatives, the first woman to sit on the Defense Appropriations Subcommittee, the first woman to head the House Appropriations Committee, and the first woman to serve as mayor of Fort Worth. She is serving out the remainder of her term and will get some very well-deserved rest.
I don't know if you guys see this, but Lillian, I noticed a little pink accessory under your desk. It reminds me of Barbie.
Listen, I wasn't able to go out last night and trick or treat because it was way too cold, so I thought I'd dress up in the studio. How do I look?
You know what? You look good. It is definitely giving cowgirl Barbie.
Thanks, that's the vibe.
Love it so much. But you know what? I totally feel you. The weather last night was so cold, I found myself indoors most of the time. Yeah. Our weather anchor Brooke Deering is here to let us know if we should expect the bone-chilling temperatures these next few days. Brooke?
Thanks, guys. Well, Lillian, I love the costume, but for those of you who did go out for Halloween weekend, I hope you all stayed warm because it was very chilly. Luckily, we're going to start to see those temperatures go up in the next week. But if we take a look at our current conditions, the temperature right now is at 56 degrees, and with those slow wind speeds at 4 miles per hour, it's still going to feel like those 56-degree temperatures. If we look at tonight's conditions, it's going to drop down into the 30s. We're seeing the wind speeds go up a little bit to 6 miles per hour, which is going to make it feel a little bit chillier at 30 degrees, especially with there being no sun. But if we take a look at tomorrow's conditions, it's going to go back up into the 60s, so it's going to be a little bit warmer. It's going to feel like 60 degrees, and those wind speeds are going to go up to 12 miles per hour. Now, I'll be back with you later in the show for your full weather update. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Brooke. Now, Halloween may be over, unfortunately, but not the Halloween blood drive taking place here at UNT.
That's right. Donating blood is a great and safe way to help others. If you want to help your community, you can do it as soon as tomorrow. ntTV's reporter April Perdant tells us more. April?
Thanks, Chanel. Well, just like Lillian said, Halloween might be over, but not for this spooky-themed blood drive. I'm here with Archit. He's part of the TAMS UNT students here at UNT, and they're organizing the Carter Blood Care blood drive that's happening tomorrow. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
So tomorrow they're hosting the blood drive. It's going to be from 11 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. It's going to be here at McConnell Hall. And could you tell me a little bit more about what was the process like in organizing this?
All right. So organizing this has been a very fun experience. We couldn't have done it without all of the organizers with Hope and the blood drive coordinators. All of the efforts have been very instrumental in making this possible. We've been getting many sponsors from around Denton to help us out in making this blood drive a success for UNT by getting sponsorships from them.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm really excited for tomorrow. There's going to be food, drinks, a t-shirt, and also a blanket for all those donors, right?
Yeah. All of these things will be for all donors. So please make sure to come to 1705 Sycamore Street to donate tomorrow, 11 to 6:30.
Well, thank you so much, Archit. And well, you heard it, guys. Come out here tomorrow, and we can't wait to see you. Well, right now, that's all we have for you. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, April. Like I said, Halloween is over and the holidays are fast approaching with new holiday treats. More after the break.
And Day of the Dead celebrations are huge among many here in DFW. One celebration here on campus gives students the chance to be part of the action. Check it out after the break.
The U.S. Federal Reserve says that our economy is stronger than ever. So why does it feel like everything is a little too expensive? Consumers everywhere are watching inflation and prices rise, and the central bank is doing something about it. Mike Valerio explains how the central bank is trying to help your dollars last longer.
The economy is booming. The highest interest rates in more than 20 years yet to dampen the jobs market, home prices, or consumer spending. However, the increased cost of borrowing will likely take a toll in the months ahead.
Expect the Federal Reserve to maintain a vigilant posture, even if they're not raising rates, just in an effort to keep conditions tight and push inflation closer to that 2% mark. There's also some concern about the health of a lot of consumers.
Consumers are wary. Confidence in the economy is down for the third month in a row, even as spending and wages are up.
Inflation has hit hardest in categories that are absolute necessities. Household expenses are considerably higher than they were just a few years ago, and the income may not have kept up.
And for many, that means more borrowing.
I think if you paint with a broad brush, it ignores the reality that about 60% of households are living paycheck to paycheck. We've seen credit card balances going up at a time when credit card rates are at a record high.
While the economy has remained stronger for longer than economists anticipated, Bankrate.com's Greg McBride says a downturn could still come in 2024, and people should be prepared if and when recession hits.
Pay down debt, particularly high-cost debt like credit cards, boost your emergency savings. That's going to be a buffer between you and high-cost debt if you have an income disruption.
I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
And with everything costing more these days, pinching pennies can be daunting during the holiday season. But there's one festive food you can count on fitting into your budget this year, and another way to celebrate the season you might not ever considered. Chanel, what do you have for us this holiday eating season?
Well, Lillian, it's time to think about all those holiday meals we're about to eat. To go around, prices are dropping. For most of us, getting our turkey
Well, it doesn't matter what time of year it is. Starbucks my order is the hot coffee, the mocha with whipped cream. And you bet I've already gotten one considering it's so cold outside. Brooke, is this a good week for some hot coffee?
Well, Lillian, it looks like it's going to be a great week for some hot coffee. Well, it looks like we're going to be taking a break from all of that rain and wind that we've been having last week, and we're going to be seeing some calm fall temperatures as we head into this week. If we take a look at our local map, we're going to see all of the temperatures in the area in the 50s. We're seeing Graham at 59 degrees, Decatur at 55, and Gainesville at 55 as well. And the rest of the area, they're kind of going up and down in between the 54 and 57 degree temperatures. Now, if we take a look at our regional map, we're going to see it ranging from the 50s to the 60s. We're seeing those 60-degree temperatures in the west at 63 in El Paso and Abilene, with a 65-degree temperature in Amarillo. As for the rest of the area, we're seeing some of the cooler temperatures in the east, with Shreveport at 55 and Oklahoma City at 56. Now, if we take a look at our 7-day forecast, we're going to see a lot more sun than we've been seeing in the past weeks, with tomorrow a high of 69 and a low of 50. We're going to start to see some clouds roll in on Saturday with a high of 73 and a low of 55, but that sun is going to start coming back out from Sunday to Wednesday. We're going to see that high go from the 70s up into the 80s on Monday and Tuesday, with Monday and Tuesday at a high of 81 degrees, and Tuesday looking at a low of 55 degrees. As for Wednesday, we're ending that week off with a high of 74 degrees and a low of 52 degrees. So it's still going to be a great time to make sure that you're grabbing that jacket as you head out of the house. That's all I have for weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Brooke. Well, it's that time of year again, y'all. Dia de los Muertos is upon us, and people in Denton have been honoring the lives of those who have passed. Our reporter Seth Wickman will be here after the break.
The do's and don'ts of the Pole Rec Center. See that man over there? Please do not hog weights. Instead, do this. Another important part is having an attentive spotter. See, here is an example of a non-attentive spotter. Instead, do this. Now we head to the track, which should be pretty easy, just it's important to pay attention to the way the track goes. Remember to wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. The towels are provided by the gym, so it's pretty easy to wipe down the equipment when you are done. Thank you for using the Pole Recreation Center.
Well, like I said, Dia de los Muertos is upon us, and our reporter Seth Wickman is here to tell us about the festival happening in Denton. Seth?
Thanks, Lillian. The Day of the Dead traditions have begun, and Denton had an exciting way of celebrating last weekend. The city hosted a festival in the square to enjoy the Latino holiday and honor those who have passed. The festival occurred last weekend and was full of good times.
Day of the Dead is literally to remember those who we have lost. So we remember them every day, but today is the day, like literally it starts today, where we light up the first candle and we remember to bring in the souls, and we remember the foods to eat, the good memories that they had.
Denton has one of the largest festivals to celebrate this holiday, and the event showcases artwork, music, and different kind of fun events to honor the Latino culture.
The work that we have here at our storefront is products handmade in Mexico and Guatemala that are Latina owned or woman owned. My mom and I do make some of the products, but everything's handmade to represent the cultura.
The coffin race is one of the most popular events where people create and decorate coffins with wheels and race them down a hill, attempting to make the best time.
This coffin was built with two old 10-speed bikes and a kid's bike. So pretty much just some tubing and just a little engineering, nothing too crazy. The name of the coffin is La Bala. It took us about 2 months probably to build it. First year we entered was 2016, was a champ 2016. It's always been runner-up 17, 18, 19. And we won again last year, so this is last year's champ as well.
The holiday is an important part of the culture for the Latino community, and Denton does a great job supporting and appreciating all it has to offer. Over the years, the festival has gained more and more traction, becoming one of Denton's most important and popular ways of celebrating life while appreciating the culture. But you don't have to wait until next year to celebrate. In fact, ntTV's Deja Jackson is over at the Library Mall where our own celebration of Day of the Dead is just getting underway. Deja?
I'm here with Neha, who's with UPC. Neha, we know that Mexican Americans celebrate Dia de los Muertos, but why is UNT celebrating?
UNT is a diverse campus. That is one of the reasons why UNT was my first choice. UNT celebrates Dia de los Muertos because we have a lot of Mexican American students here on campus, to invite them and to also invite the students that are not from this community.
And how are you celebrating tonight?
We are celebrating, we have a lot of band like mariachi band and folklorico performing. We have Mexican food like conchas and hot chocolate. We also have tabling from different orgs and fraternities.
So you heard it, come on down and enjoy some free hot chocolate. I'm Deja Jackson reporting live for ntTV. Back to you at the desk.
Great. The Dallas Animal Shelter is in a crisis with a frightening amount of animals in their care. ntTV's Chris Goodwin has more on the story.
It's flooded and the shelters are overwhelmed.
We really should not be dealing with this kind of intake and capacity. It's just not sustainable.
Animal shelters all over the nation are finding themselves stretched thin with high volumes of pets flooding their kennels.
Really, at this time of the year, we don't see a high intake like we are, so it's very bizarre, and we don't really know what's causing it.
The Dallas Animal Services Shelter says they currently are 34% over their capacity limit, caring for 397 dogs and 34 cats. With not enough space to house these pets, the shelter has no choice but to double up dogs in the kennels.
Ideally, we would not want that. We would want everybody to have their own space, their own kennel. So that kind of affects, quality of life. It stresses the pets out. It's not ideal.
The DAS also works with rescue organizations to help ease the strain on their shelter, but they too are being overstrained. Vice President of Dog Rescue Recycled Pomeranians, Holly Dixon, says they too are seeing high levels of intake and a low number of adoptions.
Lately, I would say it's really low on adoptions. I would say maybe 2 or 3 adoptions a month, if that. As far as intakes, there are a lot more. Right now, I think we've taken in right around 20 dogs this last month.
What used to be a seasonal problem around holidays like 4th of July and New Year's Eve has now become a year-round strain on animal organizations.
We used to say, right when school started or, right before Christmas, beginning of summer, there were different seasons and different times, but right now I think it's just all year round. The past couple of years, it's just been crazy.
The DAS and RP both credit owners not microchipping and not spaying or neutering their pets are major factors contributing to the high level of strays being brought in. The Dallas Animal Shelter currently is giving free adoptions, just requiring a valid ID, with a list of available pets on their website at bdallas90.org.
Y'all, that was so cute. I just might be bringing a furry surprise home with me for the holiday this year. Now, my friends, personally, I tend to drive around everywhere. But if you consider yourself a little more active when you travel, we've got some good news for Denton bikers. Our reporter Grace Grimes tells us more. Grace?
$345 million are headed for our parks and neighborhoods as the Texas Department of Transportation tries to meet the demand for walkable cities. Bike trails and pedestrian walkways are being created and improved all over the state. In Denton, there are so many different highly rated bike trails, such as Corinth Community Park, Cooper Creek Trail, and Quakertown Park for the community of people who like to ride their bikes or go on a fun family walk. Here on the UNT campus, we could definitely use some more bike lanes and areas for people with bikes and scooters to be able to safely get to class. Campus traffic can be hectic, so if you are driving a car around UNT, please be sure to watch out for bikers and pedestrians to help keep our students and staff safe. That's all I have for today. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Grace. Well, you can't ride your bike to this spot, but this place is what I'd like to call an adult playground, where you can grab a snack or a drink and get active on the courts playing one of DFW's most popular pastimes. Check it out.
This is the fastest growing sport in America. Approximately 36.5 million people play this sport, and the market continues to grow at about $152.8 million. No, I'm not talking about soccer or football. These stats come from the pickleball courts. Grapevine is home to one of DFW's Chicken and Pickle, a place for pickleball players and chicken sandwich fans to come and spend time with their friends.
We've actually been open since January of earlier this year, so we've only been open for around about 10 months now.
Although a relatively new location, Chicken and Pickle has found popularity within the DFW pickleball community.
A lot of people don't know this about Grapevine, but we are actually in the center of the largest pickleball community in the state of Texas.
And that community continues to expand thanks to places like Chicken and Pickle that promote having a good time while also getting active on the courts. I even got the chance to get out there myself and experience what it's all about.
Good job, Lily. All right, now, it's all over.
Pickleball, fun sport, play with your friends, easy entry, easy learning curve, good exercise, outdoor if you want, and good team bonding.
Super fun, get to play with these old guys, and yeah.
From Grapevine, I'm Lillian Kosh.
Good evening, my name is Amanda.
You look too bad out there. I heard Lil Wayne is a co-owner of a professional pickleball team in Texas.
I might just have to join his team. I could definitely run it up out there. But speaking of professional leagues, I think the Rangers are doing pretty good this World Series. Am I wrong?
That's right. Game 5 of the World Series is going down tonight. And that's not all. The Mavs look to continue their winning ways, and a UNT player did something historic. Stick with us for sports here on ntTV News.
Good evening. My name is Amanda Hasbell, and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my God! Oh my God! This girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my God.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our mean green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
And now the Rangers were out in the desert last night looking to close the gap between them and a World Series trophy. The Rangers start out the two-out rally in the second inning with Josh Young scoring on a wild pitch. Following that, a laser down the left field line by Marcus Semien scores two more. He turns on the burners for a triple, and if that wasn't enough, the next batter, Corey Seager, hits a blast to center for two more runs, making it 5-0. On to the third inning. Travis Jankowski hits a 2 RBI double, and Semien stays hot with a 3-run homer, making that score 10-0. The Rangers set a postseason record by scoring 10 runs with 2 outs. Jonah Heim put the cherry on top with a solo shot in the 8th. To continue the pounding, the D-backs tried to mount a comeback in the 9th inning, but it was unsuccessful as the Rangers go on to win 11-7. The Rangers are just 27 outs away from their first championship in franchise history. Game 5 is tonight at 7:03. Similar to the Rangers postseason, the Mavericks have started their season undefeated. They face Zach LaVine and the Chicago Bulls tonight. Zach is averaging 25 points in 4 games this year, including a 50-point performance. But the Mavs aren't fazed by this, as their star Luka Doncic is on a tear as well. Luka is averaging 39 points in 3 games so far, including a 49-point, 10-rebound game. The game is at American Airlines Arena and is set to tip off at 7:30. Speaking of high scores, UNT has one of their own. I met with UNT volleyball to discuss their senior Trayana Rush's milestone mark. Doing anything 1,000 times is impressive, especially when someone's trying to stop you. Trayana Rush is doing something only 10 other players in UNT volleyball history have done.
1,000 kills is big, right? I mean, you play your whole career, and there are lots of players that don't make it to that milestone. So for her to get 1,000 kills, that just speaks to just the phenomenal athlete that she is and the work that she puts in.
No, it most definitely has been a dream. Since I left Texas A&M, I've kept up with my numbers, and for the past 2 weeks before I got it, I would tell some of my coaching staff members, hey, I have this amount of kills before I get to 1,000, and I have this amount. So it was really exciting to get that number when I finally got it.
When Trayana Rush decided to leave Texas A&M, Coach Christy Porter made it her priority to make Trayana her very first recruit.
Not only does she have a phenomenal work ethic, but she's just competitive. She's probably one of my toughest competitors on the court. She's constantly striving to just be better every day.
What stood out the most for me was the coaching staff and the team when I came here. It really felt like a place that I fit in a lot, and the coaches, I could tell that they saw the potential in me and that they were going to get me to where I wanted to be after college.
Although we're celebrating her milestone, the season isn't over, and Coach Porter wants more out of her senior.
We're really excited about these last few matches that we have coming up. I think the competition gets stiffer from one week to the next. And so I just want to see her continue to rise to the challenge. And I think she does her best work against the best teams.
The volleyball team has 7 matches left, and they need you guys, the Mean Green Faithful, to support them. Their next home game is Friday, November 10th against Rice. That's all for sports. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Jay. Well, in all 3 years that I've been going here, I have yet to go to a volleyball game, so I'll need to get out there and check that out.
Me too, for sure. Let's do it after the break, maybe?
All right.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.